What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Scholars, and today I want to go over 5 waiver wire pickups for this week. Now, some of these players are pretty old players that kind of just have started to resurge, which is kind of weird and random, but they have always been promising players for the most part. Kicking off the list, we have Brandon Crawford. Now, he's 17% rostered. In the past couple of seasons, he has really not been that great, but recently this year, he's looked pretty sharp. He has 7 home runs on the season. He's only 17% rostered. Last week, he hit 385. And the Giants have been a really, really solid team this year, which is kind of surprising. And Brandon Crawford has produced. He really has produced. Now, I like Brandon Crawford is in an NL only league and a deeper mixed league, but he is a really, really solid backup shortstop. I wouldn't really recommend him in shallow leagues, but definitely in NL only formats in deeper mixed leagues. Up next, we have Taijuan Walker. Now, Taijuan Walker has been very, very solid this year for the Mets, and I definitely like him. He's 48% rostered. On the year, he has a 2.38 ERA, and he's taken down some big teams. He's taken down the Phillies, the Nationals, the Cardinals, and he has Baltimore next, so that's kind of a pretty solid outing for Taijuan Walker. I think he could do really well against Baltimore. Now, I think this is a guy that you have to look at in shallow leagues and in deeper leagues because he really is produced this season, and I think he's going to get some wins on the Mets as the Mets try to get into a groove here. And Taijuan Walker is definitely a solid starting pitcher. Up next, we have Andrew McCutchen. I remember Andrew McCutchen when he, in 2013, and 2013 won the MVP. I think he won it in 2013, but he used to be a phenomenal player, guys. This guy would hit anything. He would steal bags. He was so good. And on the Phillies, he is not the same player. He clearly is not the same player, but he still has that good power. Like last season, he hit 10 home runs. He could steal a couple bags. And last week, he hit 385. Yeah, so he's been scorching hot at the dish right now. Definitely a guy you can look at, but don't get too he used to be so good. Look at this big name McCutchen, because he's just not the same player he once was. But he's still definitely a very solid bench piece and a good outfielder for your team. Up next, we have Adbert Alzolay. Completely butchered his name. He's 16% rostered, and this is an interesting one. I love him in NL only formats in deeper leagues because you just don't know what you're going to get with him. His last couple outings, he actually looked pretty good, though, against Braves and Dodgers. He actually wrecked the Dodgers. He struck out 7 Dodgers. I know the Dodgers have been kind of iffy lately, but his last couple games, last couple starts, he's actually looked very, very promising for the Chicago Cubs. Definitely a guy you can look at to get as a 4th or 5th starter in a shallow league and NL only. He's definitely a solid piece right there. And lastly, we have Aldis Garcia. Aldis Garcia. He's 68% rostered. Now, I've mentioned him before, and we just don't know what his ceiling is. But, guys, he has been absolutely crushing the baseball. Go get him if he is still available because he has been on fire. Last week, he hit 464 with 4 home runs. He has really, really proven to be one of the Rangers' best hitters. I mean, you can argue the only better hitter right now is Joey Gallo on that team. He has been so good. If he's still available in your league, go pick him up because he is just breaking out this season and he is looking like the real deal. Thank you all for watching. More videos on the way.